Hi, and welcome to PW Fix It. This is the first video. What we're going to start out with is this snapper here. I got it off a guy off Facebook Marketplace, 50 bucks. So we'll go ahead and inspect it. First things first, just got to make sure the engine runs. First pull, and it is good to go. And while we're going through this video, keep in mind, this is just me just having fun, fixing stuff on the side. So if I'm doing something wrong, leave something in the comments. Let me know how can I improve myself here. So starting off, trying to get off this pump manifold had been broken off or whatnot. And what I'm going to use is just some hex sockets here, 6mm I believe it was that I was using. We're just going to give it a little crank, a little rust on there, so definitely going to put in some elbow grease. And I am definitely not a strong man, so apologies if I have to do two hands to break them loose. But we'll go ahead and get this pump off. We'll set that thing back upright. For these vertical mount units, a lot of the times they are holding together both the pump and the engine onto the frame. So if you are leaving it upside down and you take it off, it's probably going to slide off. So apologies for the cameramanship, but we'll get you under here and give you a little view of what I was kind of dealing with. So first things first, going to try and shake it loose a little bit. It's going to be a little rusted on there. You can kind of see the wobble plate that these axial cam pumps use. You can't see it from this angle, but what I'm just using a screwdriver to pry it off and just shake it until it comes loose and slides off. It doesn't take a whole lot of force, but it's just patience and trying your best not to break something on the way out. And there you have it, it's loose. As you can see, it's kind of rusted on there. You can kind of see the keyway still installed on the shaft. And you'll see notice there's a little crack in between the keyway and the drive shaft. And that'll be kind of important. And again, apologies for me fumbling around here, but I'm just gonna use a screwdriver to pry it out. It ain't gotta be pretty, it ain't gonna hurt it. And from this angle, it's not easy to get from or get to while you're underneath. And yes, I struggled a little bit, so bear with me here. But eventually I'm gonna get that loose. So apologies for the non-focus camera, but kind of pointing out here, this wobble plate eventually does fall out, as you can see, but it's all for demonstration. And we're going to actually be using the 51005 by OEM Technologies, not the one you're going to see. Same principle, same three-legged pump, but what we're going to do first is we are going to clean up the keyway that we initially took off. Just in case, there's always a possibility that there's burrs, metal shavings, anything that could possibly get in the way and cause some damage as it's rotating around. The engine can be a little fickle sometimes, so it's better safe than sorry. And what we're going to do actually is demonstrate. So on the right here, we have the original keyway that initially came out. It's going to be a shorter version. On the left, this is the key that we are actually going to be replacing it with, brand new one. It's going to be a 1-inch key, 3/16 in size, but that's the one we're actually going to be using here. So first off, got to clean up, use some sandpaper, steel wool, whatever you got. Clean up the engine shaft. It ain't going to be pretty, but it'll get the job done. And we're going to take a rag, clean it up, make sure there's no debris, shavings, anything that could have came off, rust. So that way it slides on nice and easy. And for me on this one's going to be a little tricky. I did have to take a file and shave down the sides a little bit. There was a little bit of damage on the engine shaft itself, but we're going to get her working here. We'll set her back down in the mount, get her lined up. And it is specific to note that a lot of these engines, they either have a forward-facing or a rear-facing pump. This one is going to be a forward-facing pump, meaning that it is going out the front side near the soap tank, and you'll see that I'm actually doing it wrong here, but it's okay. I learned my lesson, and you'll see eventually why. But that keyway is the hardest part to get in with these verticals because there's not a good access point. It's not like you're going at a horizontal and there's no frame in the way. It's just a pain in the butt. But a trick that I did learn is you can use some actually rubber bands that you'd use for braces. Put that thing on there and it'll hold the keyway right in place. And the reason I say that I messed up here is this pump that I'm using is actually a rear-facing pump. And you'll see that the mounting holes do not line up. But instead, this is where we are at, and we are actually going to be using this 51005. Technically, this pump is a rear-facing pump, but it has the special ability to rotate its manifold, so it could be both rear and front-facing. That's what I did. I just changed around the manifold mounting. So, like I said, these verticals, they are very finicky. They're hard to do. I'm not a personal fan. They're not incredibly difficult. They're just kind of a pain. Like this one did not want to mount up all the way and slide completely up, so I had to make do and work it up by, threading down the bolts. And as said before, each bolt is going to go up and hold both the pump and the engine to the frame. It never hurts just to take your time. I can already see a bunch of comments coming. You could have done that so much easier, which rightfully so. There probably is a better way, probably an easier way. But let me know if there's something that you guys know that I don't. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to learn. That's why I do this, just to show you my experience in doing it. It ain't always right and it ain't always wrong. It's just my way of doing it. And this last bolt kind of gave me some issues. Like I said, it didn't want to slide up all the way, so getting that bolt to actually go all the way up and get caught by the nut to be able to thread is difficult. But to the portion of let's get it running. So following day, took me a few days to get this. But first pull, nice and easy. Like I said, this one in specific is a snapper. It's going to be 3100 psi at 2.4 gallons per minute. Depending on what your pressure is, the GPM is going to be something similar. Shout out to my wife for doing my little cameras for me. So I just wanted to explain really quickly, this is your unloader. A lot of people get this thing stuck or have no clue how to adjust it. Right now, that last nut on the end that's shaking, that's just your stop nut to make sure that it doesn't loosen by itself. I'm going to take it off eventually. But you can just take a little socket while you're running it. And what we're going to do is we're going to first start by unloading it. So we're going to decrease the pressure by untightening it. You can kind of see there's going to be less of a stream here. Might not be as apparent, as visible. It's always recommended to do it with a gauge, but you don't always have that equipment. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it all the way back down. Visibly, you might be able to see a difference. Right? For me, I've done this a while. I have. But if you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and I will try and get some more out to y'all.